and welcome back to Feel Good Friday. Today we are talking about how to get over a bad day. Now, a bad day is something that everyone has, and even though we do our best to avoid them, they still happen. And I love, before we even get into it, I absolutely love the quote, was it a bad day or was it a bad moment? So with all of this, take it with a grain of salt. Understand that these are tools and principles that you can use to kind of turn that bad day around, turn it into a learning lesson, and then make it a better situation overall. But that doesn't mean that you take one thing and you say that you have a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, a bad life, because you do not. There are moments that are more challenging, and then there are moments that are more rewarding, and we work towards a sense of gratitude that helps us find the good in everything. But for those moments that are extra tough, I have a process for you guys as to how to deal with a bad day. First, number one, process. Number two, reset. And number three, the final piece, moving forward. So number one is process. Process what made it a bad day. Usually it's not the action itself. It doesn't matter if something happened at work, there was an argument, there was a car accident, there was something. Obviously, if it's not life-threatening, that's different. But anything that just went wrong in a regular day, number one, process why it is affecting you emotionally. Other than all the logistics of it, the things that make it difficult, what are your emotional ties to this situation, and why is it creating an emotional response within you? Usually there's something deeper. Usually there's some reason as to why it's affecting you to your core, to the point where you can say, I'm having a bad day. And if you don't believe it, just keep asking yourself, why? Why did I feel that? And then, okay, what's the answer? And then why did I feel that? And then why did I feel that? Usually you'll end up circling back to the truest reason and what's actually upsetting you. And the good thing about that is then you're able to process it. So talk it out with a friend, talk it out with yourself, journal, do it however you want, but process the emotion. If the emotion is sadness, process the emotion of sadness. If the emotion is anger, process the emotion of anger. Now, these are gonna look different for different situations and different feelings. Like maybe some situations where you are angry, you're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna do something physical to release that anger, whereas something more emotional in the sense of something that is making you sad, maybe that's something you wanna talk out, maybe that's something that you wanna journal and dive deep into. So the reason that we do this is, like I said, there's always a deeper reason. And if you can figure out what that reason is, you can resolve this a lot more quickly. So number one, figure out where it's coming from and then process that within yourself as an individual, or talk it out with somebody else, do an activity with somebody, whatever the case may be. Number two, reset. Now, if you had anger like the first one, then this may be coupled in with some kind of physical activity like working out. But number two, do something to reset. Do something that grounds you. Do something that centers you. Do something that makes you happy, whether that's working out or going for a drive or stretching or just being outside in nature, going for a walk. Do something that makes you feel whole, complete, calm, energized. Look for those things that are either tied to nature or your physical body. These are things that help tie together mindfulness, attentiveness, and just that reconnecting with the sense of self. And the reason we do this, we want to reset. We've had a lot of emotions going into a bad day, and we want to be able to sit there and kind of flip the switch and get rid of the negative energy that happened from whatever was going on before. There's no need to take it with you. There's no need to make a bad moment a bad day. There's no need to make a bad day a bad night. It's just not necessary. And I'm not saying that we're perfect every time with this. It takes practice, it takes time, but at the end of the day, you want to feel good. You want to do things that are purposeful and powerful to you, and this is going to help you on that path. And finally, number three, move on. Now, usually we just skip to this. We just skip all of that emotional processing and we just skip to moving on. But that is important because now you're able to move on without any ties to that situation, without any reservations about that situation, without any lingering feelings or agitation about that situation. You're able to move on with your day and be more productive and be more present and overall just be happier knowing that that situation has happened, you've processed it, you've reset, and you've let it go. So there we have it. Those are the 3 steps to getting over any bad day ever. And if you're ever struggling with this, reach out to a friend. Your friends have your back more than you think. That is gonna be it for this week's episode of Feel Good Friday. It is presented to you by Entertainment Scoop, and I am your host, Liv Teixeira. I'll see you in the next one.